for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
My sentence was interrupted.
I know, but you were getting excited about the wet and snow.
Ready to toss you, Alana.
It's okay. I just love that musical interlude before we get, it's really the hype music. And on a storm day, you need the hype because, gosh, it's been active in northern and central Utah. This is how we closed out the day in the southern end of the valley. This is from Antelope Island. Scott Taylor catching that gorgeous sunset as we dried out in portions of the Salt Lake Valley. But then you looked north. My goodness, the heavy rain was coming down in Weber and Davis County. Amazing shot, Scott. Incredible. And that wet weather still out there tonight as we're seeing some lake effect thunderstorms coming off the Great Salt Lake. Also some moisture on the eastern side of the state. Let's get in there. Fresh lightning. And this is moving into the Magna area. We have a northwest flow in place. That's why it's so chilly out there. And so we're getting that moisture coming off of the lake with rain extending down on the western end of Taylorsville, West Jordan, South Jordan, all the way down to Harriman. Magna's seeing the actual lightning. And this is going to continue as we get through the overnight. Yeah, lake effect potential for rain in our valleys and snow in our mountains does stick around. Here's eastern Utah, Uinta Basin with some wet weather, and we've got some rain in Uinta County all the way down as far south as I-70. In the south, it's been dry. We had some echoes of moisture in and around Iron County, mainly over the mountains, but southern Utah had plenty of sunshine. They were just cooler today. So was the Wasatch Front, 58 in Salt Lake, 10 degrees below where we should be, but yesterday we were 80. Boy, did we dip. 53 for the high in Logan, 60s in eastern Utah, 60 in the Basin, 80 in St. George, and 50s along the I-15 corridor. Now, the southern half of the state was dry, but it was snow in the mountains with snow levels coming down. This was from Dutch John. Thank you, Darren. Near Flaming Gorge. That looks straight out of winter, but this autumn storm performing with cold air and bringing that shot of moisture, and we're not finished just yet. Futurecast times it out, forewarning you that as we head into the overnight, the model is picking up on the potential of that lake effect. Now, we could see Tooele County impacted, but areas southeast of the Great Salt Lake have the potential of seeing some rain. And in the mountains, we could actually see higher snow totals as a result of that lake effect for the Ochres and the Cottonwoods. So we have to see what happens with the wind flow because the northwesterly flow will favor the Cottonwoods. If it becomes northerly, then it's the Ochres. But as you look by 4 a.m., we've got heavier rain on the western end of the Salt Lake Valley all the way towards Draper and maybe even into Lehigh. Mountain snow and rain from Cache Valley into Davis and Weber County, and we see that snow on the Wasatch back and over the Uintas expected for the early morning hours. Here we are for the morning commute, forewarning you. It could be soggy, and it's going to be cold. Some of the coldest air of the season on the way. Wet weather by 6 a.m. in the Ogden Valley and on the western end. And with the model picking up the potential of snowfall, here's what's going on. Tooele County is going to get cold. Tooele itself will stay in the upper 30s, but outlying areas could hit freezing. If this lake effect band sets up, we could maybe pick up an inch or two there. So heads up. We keep those showers as we roll through the morning hours. They start to become more isolated by the afternoon. Mountains hold on to that moisture, especially over the Uintas, and we get wraparound potential as we head into the evening. Eventually, we start to dry out, but Thursday night into Friday morning will be even colder than tonight. There's the potential for that lake effect areas southeast of the Great Salt Lake. What's going on? Here's the setup. Great Salt Lake right now, the water temperature is about 63 degrees. Here comes that cold storm, and with that northwesterly flow, we push that cold air over the lake. When that happens, we actually see the air warming. So warm air rises, and we get cloud cover that pushes on shore and brings moisture, and the lake basically fuels any lake effect, and that means showers and thunderstorms for our valleys and the potential for snow in the high country. Snow accumulation on the model really hefty there in the Uintas and the Cottonwoods, that little dark blue where we could see upwards of a foot, maybe a foot and a half, 15 to 18 inches for the highest peaks. Areas under the winter weather advisory, which includes the entire Wasatch Range, could go anywhere from 2 to 8. If we get cold enough, we could see that snow level down to 6,500 feet. That's the upper benches, folks. It could be an interesting morning. We'll see what happens. Futurecast showing 50s for the daytime highs tomorrow, 50s and 60s on the eastern side of the state, dry in the southern half of Utah with scattered to isolated showers in the north. especially in the morning hours. As we look at the St. George 7-day, we cool down, but we stay dry. There's that annular solar eclipse. That is a cool one. Now, that's the ring of fire. It's not a total eclipse. The moon will block the sun. That's the difference there. That ring of fire beauty is expected in central and parts of southern Utah. Here's a Wasatch Front unsettled with cold temperatures, gradual warming trend. We could see some clouds wanting to kick it for this eclipse, and I'm going to keep you posted as we get closer, but we've got to get through this wet weather first. What a night.
Oh, we're getting a little bit of everything this week.
That's what we do, Sarah. We serve a buffet. We bring, what would you like? Take a scoop.
I didn't get any food.
We're used to it.